Foxborough Rush coming at you on a Wednesday morning. I was about to say afternoon, but it's still morning time. And look, I mean, Trevor, nobody knows that more than you. You know, Travis Thomas, he's been busy. He's already got some, he's all warmed up, ready to go. Like, I'm I'm talking to Trevor and you at the same time. Trevor's behind the booth. He's producing today. Okay. Travis is sitting with me. Look, I'm still, I need another cup of coffee. Can I get some coffee?
Yeah, I'll take one of those with a little something extra in mine, J-Mac, okay? A little something. You see I'm still pouring, right? A little something extra in mine.
Fair enough. They are getting warmed up in Foxborough today because, well, we all know what is on tap come Sunday. That is a trip down memory lane, but, not for Mike Vrabel and the Patriots, who, by the way, Travis, you and I have not had this conversation yet. Here we go into week 7, and the New England Patriots are in first place in the AFC East.
Woo!
How does that sound?
Well, it sounds great. Feels even better. I have never, J-Mac, been more proud and happy to be as loud and as wrong as I was about this team, ever. I mean, I remember talking to you right here on Foxborough Rush. Great program. And I told you this team's going to win 6-7 games this season. And I'll be damned if we're already at 4 wins, and I am so happy to be wrong. Like, this is clearly a 10-11 win team, which many of you out there told me it would be. I tell you what, I didn't buy a couple things that have happened now, J-Mac. I didn't buy that the offensive line would be any good, okay? They are madly improved. I didn't buy that Stephon Diggs could come off of injury, be a number 1 wide receiver, and a leader. I didn't buy any of those things. I thought he's not really a number 1 anymore. He's been a pain at the arse at a couple stops. I don't see leadership from him, but he has been all the above. So, and then I don't think any of us saw Drake May being this good, J-Mac. Like, most of us thought he would take another, step in the maturation process. But this guy, J-Mac, he's an MVP candidate. Like, who saw this coming?
Don't tell him that.
I know. But that's what I mean. Like, I didn't see a lot of these things coming. Maybe I should have, but I didn't see a lot of these things coming that are here. This team's for real.
Yeah, look, by the way, one of the best things about Drake May is that he's like, I don't want to talk about that. What do you mean? Like, we're trying to win games. I have a ton to learn. I'm young in this league. I mean, humility, I said this the other day on social, like, humility is such an underrated quality, and it is such a great quality. And, for him to go out there and be leading the way he's leading, be playing the way he's playing, and this team to be stacking the wins the way they have been these last few weeks, good things happen when football teams are able to do that. And that is why good things are happening right now for the New England Patriots. I did mention, of course, a little trip down memory lane this weekend for Mike Vrabel, of course, taking the New England Patriots down to Tennessee, where he had his first head coaching stint in the National Football League. Took him to an AFC championship along the way, won Coach of the Year along the way, and then
beat Belichick, remember? Beat Belichick.
Yeah. En route to it, but look, I mean, then was just really shockingly fired by the Titans, and I think that was really the feeling around the league and around football when they decided to move on from Mike Vrabel in January of 24 after that 2023 season. And for the Titans, I mean, goodness gracious, they've gone 4-19 since then, and of course, they've had some variety when it comes to GMs, and now they're adding to the variety when it comes to their head coaches as well, as Brian Callahan is out as the head coach there of the Tennessee Titans. We'll talk about everything I don't know, going on and continuing to be dysfunctional in Tennessee
Yeah.
coming up in just a bit here. But I want to talk about the Patriots side of this first, and listen to what Mike Vrabel said about, going down on to Tennessee.
This is going to be probably a lot to be said about this, and think would file under the category of, is it interesting or important? And I would probably say this would be very interesting, but in the end, not very important to our preparation or what we need to continue to try to do to improve as a team. But having spent, 6 years there or 7 years there, I mean, it's, I think it'll be nice to see some people that I haven't seen in a few years that helped us win, players and staff. But we've got a huge job here to do as we prepare for them.
I got to tell you, I love how he's like, is this interesting? Is this important?
Yeah.
I think we need to file this under it's interesting, but it's not really important. And the reason I love it so much is
Yeah.
because he is practicing what he has preached to this team since he got here. Like, we have to go be us. We are the New
Yep.
England Patriots. We have to play our football. We have to make sure that we don't do the things that get us beat. We have to go out there and play well and remain true to ourselves. And then it doesn't matter who you're playing. And that's exactly what Mike Vrabel is saying when it comes to this game against the Tennessee Titans. It doesn't matter that we're playing the team that I was once employed by. What's really important is that we go out there and be the New England Patriots and take our brand of football to Tennessee on Sunday and do what we need to do.
Okay, Jade. Yes, you're right. Okay. But I am jaded by this stuff, Jade. Here's what I mean. You just went here with Drake May, too, and you're right. Drake May, that humility that we hear when you start talking about stats and MVPs and all this stuff. And he's like, hey, I'm just trying to get better. We love that. We love to hear that. But I'm calling BS on him just like I am with Vrabel. Stay with me, Jade. Drake May, at the podium, interviews, dealing with fans, you need to be humble. But when you step in between those white lines, you are the baddest MFer there is on the planet, and he plays like it. So I know damn well he flips some sort of switch when he gets out there, right? And he's competing. I bring that up because I feel the same way with Mike Vrabel. At the podium, Jade, oh, no big deal, nothing to see here. I'll say hi to a couple friends. I know damn well that it's personal. Look, I've talked to former players, coaches, as I'm sure you have. When they go against old teams, at the podium, with us in the media, to the fans, they're always going to downplay it. But I've had beers with these people, not Vrabel specifically, but former coaches, former players. I'm sure you've talked to them, Jade. They'll all tell you, off the record, hey, when you said it's not personal against such and such, did you mean that? And they say, hell no, I didn't mean it. Of course it's personal. You know damn well. Think about this. Brian Callahan, who you brought up, was hired when Vrabel was fired. So you bring in this genius in Callahan, what'd you say, 4-19? I mean, okay, you don't think the Titans are looking at our guy saying longingly, lovingly, he's the one that got away. He's like, please, Braves will never let go. You better let go, because he's with us. He's with a hotter piece of you-know-what with the Patriots. You're done. You're finished. You had your chance with him. You let him walk. We love him up right here with the Patriots. That's what it's about. Of course it's personal, Jade. Of course it is, but he can't say that.
Look, I don't disagree with you, but I think what's important, and look, Steph Diggs, right? Like, we just did this with him going back to Buffalo, and we know that meant something to him. He was honest about it. He was like, it's going to be nostalgic. That's what it was. And I think by Vrabel saying, is it interesting? Yes, right? Is it important? No, I can't make this about me and my return to the Titans this week because he can't. He has to make this about the team that he is currently the head coach of and a regime that he wants to build here in New England. And if he
Yep.
lets this become the talking point going into it, he has thrown everything that he has told these players out the window. So is
Yep.
it personal? Of course it's personal. His old teammate Teddy Bruschi said, yesterday or the day before, he still holds a grudge about something
Yeah.
that happened way back when. So we know it's personal. That's fine. But you can't make it
That's right.
about what it is. You have
Yep.
to be able to still go out and do what you need to do and go, it's interesting. Sure. Is it going to help him, be fired up for this game? Yeah, probably. Is it going to help
Yeah.
him in his message? Does every guy in that locker room know that this one means a little bit more maybe for their head coach?
Yep.
Yeah, of course they do.
Yep.
But you can't take your eye off of what you need to do. And that's my point about the way how Vrabel is handling this and why it needs to be that way. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, personal, sure. You still got to stay focused on what you got to do and who you are and what you want this team to be.
No doubt. Here's the other thing, too. As a young team just starting to win, you have to kind of figure out how to deal with prosperity. I mean, a lot of times these young teams, they'll get hot, they'll go on a winning streak. Then all of a sudden, Jade, expectations start coming in. Oh, this team's going to playoffs. This team's going to do this. And the weight, right? It gets a little heavy. You have more pressure on you, and they start losing. It's because they don't know how to deal with prosperity. So I think as we look ahead, and I'm sure we'll talk about it here, but I mean, you just look at the schedule. I'm looking at it now. Obviously, you're in Tennessee. Home against the Browns, home against the Falcons. You go to Tampa, so it gets tough. So certainly your next 3 games, and we know the rest of the schedule's soft as well, but at least your next 3 games are all winnable games. But again, now you have the expectations to win them all. So now it's like it changes a bit. It's not only the Tennessee aspect here with Vrabel, but it's also, can this team handle prosperity? We saw them go to New Orleans against a bad but scrappy Saints team, and they were able to get that done. I'm anticipating we're going to see that again here. Like, this Titans team is bad, but they're going to want to stick it to Vrabel. So, this is going to be a tough game. I do think the Patriots will pull it out, but I think part of this, Jade, is how do they kind of handle success now? That's all. They have to figure that out.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, look, there's all the talk about like, do you get the interim bump, with the Titans deciding to move on from Brian Callahan when they did, and is there sort of a bump? And you can look at the numbers and you can make numbers work for any argument that you want to make, right? But the Titans are obviously hoping that they get some kind of bump by changing the head coach at the time, in which they did. And look, I mean, don't tell the Falcons you're like, we're penciling this one as a win. I mean, last I checked, they played a pretty good game the other night, and they're a bit of an enigma, but they are certainly making some noise for themselves in the NFC. So you can't count any of them as a guaranteed win. You can't count anything in this league as a guaranteed win. That said, you have to go out there and figure out how to handle the fact that now you're in first place in the division by way of the win over the Buffalo Bills. And you have to figure out how to play as someone who is more of the hunted, perhaps, than those who are chasing, right? I mean, this is a position from which, we've seen the Kansas City Chiefs now play for years, because even though they got off to a rocky start this season, we all sat there and said, it's okay. Like, they're the Chiefs and they're going to figure it out. And they sure looked like they were figuring it out the other night against the Detroit Lions. So you have to learn to play from that position. And this is a very young team, and 100%. They're going to have to figure that out. They still have a lot of growing to do. But you have to like what you're seeing from the quarterback. Drake May is playing so well. We have really
Yes.
seen the growth, just the trajectory continue on upward. And Mike Vrabel talked about that. What are you seeing out of his quarterback?
Well, I would say that the credit goes to Drake. That's what it always go to. It's not going to go to anybody other than the player that's doing that and improving and understanding and making the plays. His ability to throw off platform and extend and keep his eyes downfield. There were some things that we asked him to work on that Josh and Ashton asked him to work on coming out of Buffalo. I felt like he tried to do that, and then when he had to extend, have the ability to extend. But I think that's when quarterbacks can feel the rush, but also see downfield and see things develop. That can be deadly. Just it's hard to defend that as opposed to guys that you see them when they drop down, their eyes go down to the rush. Now they can't see guys open up and come free on the third level. So I think his receivers. I think he trusts those guys. I think he trusts to spread it around. I think he, doesn't mind, giving them a chance and putting it in some place where they be the ones they can get it. And so I think that's a great combination between Drake's personal development and trust in the receivers.
It's the truth. I mean, that's exactly what you want. You want his eyes downfield, not downward, and you want the receivers who can find ways to create plays, right? Like dancing around, pulling off some moves. Sometimes that's what this becomes, and it is having that chemistry. Like, how many years did we sit here and talk about Tom Brady and the offseason that he would go and he would spend all these hours with these guys, right? I mean, how many stories did we hear Julian Edelman tell about, oh my gosh, like someday I'll be able to eat a strawberry and a tomato, but I can't right now because they're inflammatory, and I'm out here working with Brady, because they're trying to develop that consistency and that timing and that feel together. And to see Drake May starting to develop some of that with these receivers on this team is hugely significant. And for his entire career, Steph Diggs has been that type of receiver. So to have him in there as a leader and helping to teach these young guys is also tremendously important.
Yeah, I mean, hearing Vrabel's talk there, I see a lot of the things he was talking about, because when I watched Drake May, now he was sort of done a disservice his rookie year, because we could have maybe seen a lot of this last year. He just had no line blocking for him, and he had no receivers to speak of. But what I see now, calm, decisive decisions, and decisive with his reads and where to go with the ball. The pocket presence has been the most shocking thing to me. Like, I remember the draft, and one of the knocks on him was, and some of it was UNC related and like the kind of system they ran there, but the footwork in the pocket and taking snaps from under center, he needed to be refined and coached up on all this stuff. I mean, this dude, outside of not having any peach fuzz to be seen on his face, Jade, like, this guy, he plays like a 10, 12-year veteran in terms of pocket presence. You see him move around in there. Like, oh my God, it's artwork. I mean, it's like a veteran quarterback. And we saw that with Jaden Daniels as well in his rookie year. So, these young guys are equipped for this. But I can't help but to feel like, we got kind of jobbed for his rookie year. Like, if he had a decent line and Stephon Diggs, like, maybe we could have saw this last year, and a better coach, we could have saw this last year. But thank God we're seeing it now, Jade. Thank God.
Yeah. Look, I mean, the future is bright, and that's what we're focused on, the present and the future.
Yeah.
I do want to hear, because I'm sure you had the same reaction that I did watching that phantom PI call on Diggs. On just a beautifully thrown ball, and a touchdown for New England last weekend. But the way Mike Vrabel handled it, and really the way Steph Diggs handled it, is worth mentioning. Let's hear from Vrabes one more time here.
Oh no, those don't drive me crazy. I mean, I think, we just have to be able to deal with whatever situation is presented to us, whether we agree with it or disagree with it. I've learned that it's not going to change. So frustrated and disappointed for the players there that had some really explosive gains taken away by judgment, probably poor judgment, but it's all part of it. And so I like the resolve for us to, ability for us to play through some of those, however difficult that it may be.
BS.
Gotta play through
BS. BS, Jade. You know it. It's BS. Listen, let me tell you something, okay? I am proud of me, Jade. You know why? Because I'm trying to center my chi more. Because when Sunday happened and all this nonsense with these refs, I was screaming all kinds of obscenities. I got kicked out of the room. My wife was like, the kids are around. Bleep those kids too. You know what, Travis? Get out. Like, I had to get out. I'm yelling at the refs for point shaving. I'm doing all kinds of stuff. But as the week has gone on, Jade, I have centered my chi, and I'm calmer now, and I'm trying to handle it like Vrabel. But I know deep down inside, he's as ticked off as I am. I know he is.
Yeah, I don't think he's saying he wasn't. I mean, I think he's just like, look, as frustrating as it may be, you got to learn to play through it. It's as simple as that, right? I mean, honestly, I feel like it's the way I like talk to my kids. Like, it's frustrating, but you can't change it. So you can either decide you're gonna react or respond. And if you respond, you're probably gonna end up feeling a lot better than if you just reacted. So keep working on your chi. Maybe it'll take you less days next time to get there.
I'm also not at all surprised that our parenting styles are different and yours is better. I'm not shocked.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. We could all be a wall in everybody's house, a fly in somebody's wall, and it's hard stuff. It's hard stuff. Okay, we're going to take a quick break here. You want to talk about hard stuff? Such is the state of the Tennessee Titans right now.
Oh.
We'll hear from them on the other side. Plus, we'll pick some games still coming up, and we will hear from you right here on Foxborough Rush. Stick around. Foxborough Rush coming back at you on a Wednesday morning here, and we have mentioned, of course, the Tennessee Titans are on tap for the New England Patriots come Sunday afternoon, and, well, they look a little differently. At least the head coach on the sideline is going to look a little bit differently because they move on from Brian Callahan, who, of course, replaced Mike Vrabel down there in Tennessee after they fired him after the 2023 season, and they have named Mike McCoy as the interim head coach, former head coach of the San Diego Chargers, because at that point, we still got to sing the San Diego Superchargers theme song, which is now going to be in my head for the rest of the day. But anyway, I digress. The Titans decide to make the move. Interesting timing to do it, you might say. Their president of football ops, Chad Brinker, said this in his press conference.
Yeah, like I said, that doesn't change. The plan's not changing as far as the patience and building this roster and all the things that go with that. Unfortunately, there's a change that need to be made in this process where we're at right now because of the lack of growth that we've seen with this football team. Just to reiterate it again, I mean, we talked about that being a very important thing. We didn't talk about wins and losses. Of course, we want to win as many football games as we can possibly win, but we preached and talked about the growth. And we just have not seen the growth with the team to this point.
Well, look, I mean, I understand you have the number 1 overall pick in Cam Ward. I also know that growth for young quarterbacks becomes a heck of a lot harder when you start changing who's in their ear and you start changing systems and all these things. We have heard it time and time again. And look, for Ward, he's already had to deal with that because Brian Callahan started the year as the play caller and then, either removed himself or was removed from play calling duties. We don't know exactly what went into that decision and who made it. But then
Right.
he, had the quarterback coach as a play caller. Now he's going to have Mike McCoy as a head coach. So look, I mean, it gets really hard to find success when you're dealing with inconsistency. And this Tennessee Titans team has just been the poster board for
Yes.
inconsistency over recent years. I don't know how else to put it.
No, I think you said it all. Listen, I can see the future in this bald head of mine. When I look inside the future, I see the Titans with the #1 pick yet again, and we'll see, do you take someone on defense or do you build around this kid, Cam Ward, who I do like? But you make a great point about, the more voices in that ear as time goes on, it's going to be difficult for him. But I'm going to give you the next head coach for the Titans, okay? I have 3 names here as I look into the future. Mike McCarthy, who at this point, Jade, no one can even argue. Even if you don't like the guy, you have to admit he's a quarterback whisperer. I mean, he's made it work with a multitude of different personalities, different arms, different skill sets at that position. John Harbaugh, who could be available depending on how this Ravens thing plays out. Obviously, we see his success with Lamar over the years. And then Sean McDermott, again, another hot take for me. I mean, the Bills lose this division to the Patriots, and the Bills flame out in the postseason here. I think that guy's out of there, and I think they'll go get maybe a John Harbaugh or one of these other guys, right? So that Bills job becomes top of the heap. But I think one of those 3 guys ends up the Titans' next head coach, and they're going to pay for it. You know what I mean? And they're probably going to end up with another #1 pick, or at least top 3, the way this trash team looks. Like, they stink. So, but I do like Cam Ward. So I think you got your guy possibly at quarterback. They need the right head coach, and they need to spend some money in order to do that.
Yeah, a couple things. I mean, one, more than anything, I hope they do a really deep dive on who they decide they're going to hire as their head coach. And I don't know that all those guys that you mentioned are even going to be available. But I think if any of them were available, they're the type of person that's going to walk in and go, you want me to take this job? Here's my list of demands. Because nobody's going to take that job who has that type of cachet without having their set of demands answered.
Yep.
I would tell you that, they lost, of course, to the Raiders last weekend, and at least one person with that Las Vegas Raiders team agreed with one of your assessments about this Tennessee Titans team. Take a look at this. This is out of The Athletic. That might be the worst team I've seen in the last 25 years, one Raiders coach said of the Titans after Sunday's game. They don't have any difference makers other than D-tackle Jeffrey Simmons, and the whole thing was a total mess. So it ain't pretty down there in Tennessee. As for Cam Ward, he's talked a little bit about his mindset and where he is as a rookie in this league and trying to deal with the situation that's in front of him right now.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. We don't really have no communication issues from player to player. And so that's just something that we got to continue to build off. And we can't keep starting games off slow. I can't keep starting off slow. We just got to start fast, and we also got to maintain that throughout the game.
Has there been any of that you mentioned the coaching side, like because of the change in play caller, anything like that?
Just situationally? Yeah. Nah, not really. And we weren't in no crazy situation because we were losing. So it's just something that we got to maintain a lead. We got to get a lead. We got to stop, turn the ball over for myself, and then we just got to win games.
They're going to have to score more points. I mean, that's certainly part of it. It is really hard to win games when you can't put up points. And that's something that has proven to be very difficult for this Tennessee Titans team to do. As for their interim head coach, Mike McCoy, let's listen to his message to Titans fans out there.
With regards to our fan base, I understand the frustration. Our record's what it is. But I can promise you, okay, we're going to work our tails off, every day we walk in this facility as a coaching staff, as players, to go out there and do whatever we can, okay, to give us our best opportunity to win a football game. That's what it's all about. It's about winning. Okay, so we got to go out there and play with great energy, great effort, play with the swagger, complementary football. All three phases playing together. That's the big thing. We all understand where we are and that we've struggled on offense. We got to fix that, and that's the number one thing we got to do right now moving forward is we got to fix it and clean up some things on offense. And but it's complementary football, and that's sticking together as a football team. But when you play complementary football and you help each other out, good things are going to happen. So to the fans, hey, we're going to go out there, we're going to fight our tails off and get rolling.
Oh yeah.
You're just soaking it all in over there.
This is hilarious. You know how they say, like, Mike Vrabel, leader of men. Sean Payton, he's a leader of men. Who is this guy? I mean, honest to God. You know what he looks like and sounds like? Like, you know what? Let me look this up. I need a heartfelt pump-up speech to tell the media and my team. ChatGPT, can you help me put this together? Sure thing, Grandpa. Here's what you want to hit on. 3 phases of the game. Stick togetherness. Like, get your, man, you ain't no damn leader. You look and sound like an interim coach. That's exactly what you are. Regular unleaded. You know when you go to the gas station, they have high test, mid, and then regular unleaded. That's him. Vrabel's diesel. You understand? Diesel. This guy, regular unleaded. Vrabel, 18-wheeler. Think Optimus Prime for Vrabel, right? This dude, Honda Civic with 200,000 miles on it. Like, I'm not buying this. Other than that, I think he's great.
Yeah. Other than that, he's perfect. He did talk about wanting to see improvement. Do you want to hear more from?
No, I don't. Can I make an executive call? Like, we don't need to hear more from, what's his name? Ronald McDonald, whatever the hell his name is. Get him out of here. It's trash.
Oh my goodness. He was a head coach in this league. Just gonna say that. I will also tell you this. Head coaches against their former teams on the road 5-1 if you go back a ways. So that bodes well for Diesel over there. We'll be back with more Foxborough Rush right after this. Oh, welcome back into Foxborough Rush. We're rocking and rolling. And, we were just talking about one grandpa. We're going to go to a couple other guys who are playing in Thursday Night Football. Maybe you have heard of them. None of them grandpas. But look, I mean, I'm not the one who said it, but it is the Icy Hot Bowl on Thursday Night Football. So says Cam Hayward. With Aaron Rodgers and Joe Flacco at quarterback, 40-41. Here we go. So the Icy Hot Bowl is coming your way on Thursday night. Thank you, Cam Hayward, for the description there. And look, I mean, Flacco recently, of course, moved from Cleveland to Cincinnati. Mike Tomlin actually had some pretty interesting comments about that, which are not typically in line with Mike Tomlin. I feel like he does not usually sort of stick his hand out there and talk about that stuff. But I also think it's one of those, this is like the AFC North, and weird things happen in the AFC North. And we know that Flacco's not who he was, but for a long time in those years, Tomlin had to contend with him, and he won a Super Bowl, of course, with Baltimore. I don't have to tell you that, Travis. And look, I mean, he can still throw the ball. So he's got the 2 of the best receivers in the game now playing on his side. So it's kind of one of those where I don't know that you're going to get a ton of consistency with it, because the offensive line is more like Swiss cheese than anything else. But that doesn't mean he's not going to connect and make some plays and maybe make your life a little bit more difficult in the North down the road.
Listen, I am so ready for Joe Flacco to is it time to retire? Like, Joe, Jade, he's been killing me. Joe Flacco's been killing me. He used to beat the hell out of my college team. I covered him in college. Like, he went to Delaware, I went to Towson. So that was a team that used to just smash my college. So I watched him destroy us, okay? Then I go to my long, illustrious career, which started in Baltimore. Who do you think I covered there? Now this guy, he just won't go away. I need Joe to leave. So here's the deal. The Steelers are going to win this game. Out of the two icy hot old men in this, Aaron Rodgers is better. It's that simple, okay? The Steelers are going to win this game. I think the Steelers are going to win this division. Here's my, again, looking in the crystal ball. I'll take the Steelers to win the division. Stay with me, Jade. Lamar comes back. The Ravens are a wild card team. The Ravens go to Pittsburgh. I still call it Heinz Field. I don't know what the hell it's called now. The Ravens go there and beat them. How Steelers would that be? Even Steelers fans right now hate what I just said, but they go, he's probably got a point. Like, it just feels so ripe for this. I'll take the Steelers in this game.
Well, winning a playoff game has proven to be very difficult. Look, there's been so much consistency under Mike Tomlin that they don't have any losing seasons, but trying to get in the playoffs and win a playoff game has proven to be very, very difficult for the Pittsburgh Steelers for a number of years now. They're hoping that Aaron Rodgers is the difference. I also will take the Steelers to win this one on Thursday night against this Bengals team that, quite honestly, no Joe Burrow, and you are just in a totally different place. And I think everybody has been finding that out. We got another London game on tap this weekend. So we have the Rams and the Jacksonville Jaguars, who, of course, got the big win against Kansas City and then stumbled a little bit after that one and, are coming off of a loss. London is kind of like their second home. They've played a lot of games in London over the years. How do you see this one?
Chet, could you bring me my tea and crumpets for this segment, please? Thank you. Look, I'm sick of the Jags. I've lost money betting against them this year, and they keep winning, especially that damn game against the Chiefs, the ugliest game-winning run you've ever seen in your life. What was Trevor Lawrence doing there? Stumbling and bumbling all over himself. He got up and he's like, damn, no one touched me? Guess I'll run in for the game winner. I don't believe in this team at all. I think they're fugazi. I'll take the Rams. I'm sick of the Jags. Someone beat them already. I'm sick of fans. People hear me hate on them on TV. All I hear out in the streets, Duval, screw you, Duval. Rams are going to win this game over in London, bloke.
I like the Rams. I just think that Puka is one of the top receivers in this league, and that Jags pass defense is suspect. So to think that Matt Stafford and Puka and beyond are not going to find a way to exploit that, I have a hard time thinking that won't be the case.
Are you picking them if Puka's out? Are you going to pick him if Puka's out? Because he might not play.
He might not play, but I still think that Matt Stafford's going to make the most of whoever he has out there.
Okay.
And I'll take the Rams to win in Jacksonville's other home over there.
Okay.
Across the pond in London. Another huge game on tap. Philadelphia, of course, coming off of 2 straight losses, goes to Minnesota to take on Brian Flores. That Vikings defense. He's always good to bring a wrinkle, and man, that Philly offense has it has not been the same. I mean they got pounded by the Giants. That was ugly on Thursday Night Football. I mean, I know they're basically coming off of a mini bye here in Philly, but like this is a team that, we talked about this a few minutes ago, right? About how the Kansas City Chiefs, it was all sort of like, it's okay. They're going to figure this out, and then sure enough, like they went out there on Sunday night and they look pretty darn good against a Detroit Lions team that we know is legit. I feel like we kind of need to see a performance like that from the Philadelphia Eagles after the last 2 games. What we've seen out of them, it just feels like there's a lot that feels mighty shaky there. Like, I don't know if it's always sunny in Philadelphia right now. It's actually not. It has been a wreck of a sports week for the past week and a half. My husband's from Philly. I have had to live this. Like, I know how bad it has been.
Oh man, give him my condolences. Listen, I actually think the Commanders blew an opportunity against the Bears because if you win that game, like the way the Eagles are playing right now, that division looks wide open. The Giants are feeling themselves. If the Commanders could have won that game against the Bears, they were in a really good position. I still think the division's wide open, but ultimately, I do believe the Eagles will kind of figure it out. But isn't it so NFL? And if I had more stones, I would bet this, but I ain't doing it. Isn't it so NFL if Carson Wentz, with this great, just like hot shot, quarterback whispering, offensive genius coach in Kevin O'Connell beats his old team? Wouldn't that be something? It just feels so NFL, but I'm not going to bet on that. For the sake of you and I here, I'll take the Eagles and play it safe.
You're going to play it safe. Play it safe. Look, it is a mighty interesting one. And obviously, I mean, you look back in that storyline, Carson Wentz was really like he was an MVP candidate that season until he got hurt, with the ACL and then everything, Nick Foles came in and they went up winning the Super Bowl and all of that. He was part of that team. Like they didn't have the same season that they did if Wentz wasn't their starter. And then we all know like his career has really just bounced around.
That's right.
Since then. This is going to be really interesting to see, what it looks like. I don't know. He has some injury concerns. JJ McCarthy obviously has been dealing with an injury as well. So there's a lot to watch for in this one. I don't even have a feel for this game. I'll be honest with you, like on who I want to pick. I guess I'll go with the Eagles because I just feel like they've got to go out there and show that they can put something together offensively.
Jade, your husband watches this. You better pick the Eagles. You got to go home.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing here? You better pick the Eagles.
Yep.
You can't pick Carson Wentz at a time like this, Jade. You can't do it. You can't do it.
He'll be like, wait a minute, where do we live? Like, what is going on right now? What is going on right now? Come on, honey.
Take the Eagles.
Come on.
Take the Eagles.
You know how bad it's been, right? Like,
yes.
He went to Penn State. His head coach just got fired. I mean, it's all just going downhill. The Phillies got blown out on a terrible play. Okay, I'm just off the rails now. Let's move on. Let's talk about the Carolina Panthers and the New York Jets, the winless New York Jets. I like how you're just like, do we even have to?
This is the toilet bowl, Jay. Like, look, I guess.
We got the icy hot bowl and we got the toilet bowl.
Right? I mean, this game's poopy. Like, if the Jets are going to win a game, now would be a chance you could roll the dice. But let me tell you something about rolling dice on the Jets. My Dumas took over on the win total for the Jets because I believed in them in the offseason. What the hell was I drinking that day? I took over 6.5 wins for the Jets. Not only did I take that ticket, Jade, and set it on fire already, even though I know mathematically it's still possible, I set it on fire already, tinkled on it, to put it out, picked it back up, and set it on fire again. I'm not hitting that bet. The Jets stink. At this point, I hope they go over. Give me the Panthers.
Have you ever heard the expression TMI?
Also,
just,
you can tell I have kids because I use tinkled in a sentence, Jade. That's next level dadding. I'm at a 99 overall for dadding right now.
Well, I mean, look, you do have this going for you. You've had the Titans get the number one overall pick, and you've also had the Jets get the number one overall pick at this point. So
it's a good point.
I mean, like pick your bad to worse here. I mean,
yeah. It's bad.
I will take the Carolina Panthers in this game.
Yeah.
I mean, quite honestly, like until the Jets win a game, how do you pick them to win a game?
You can't.
I think it just has to be that simple at this point.
And they may not win a game. That's also on the table.
Yeah, it's entirely possible. Who do you take in the Titans game with the Patriots?
I'm going to go Patriots. I just think it's going to look a lot like the Saints game. You know, I know Vegas thinks that the Patriots are 2 touchdown favorites in there. I mean, I don't believe that. I think it's 7.5 last I looked. You know, it's probably going to be very similar to the Saints game. I don't think we'll be quite as nervous. You know, the refs clearly had the Saints on the money line or something. I don't think that's going to be the case here. I think the Titans, you know, will feel a little more comfortable as Patriots fans that they're in control. But I think the score will be a little closer than we all thought. Does that make sense? Like I could see the Titans, you know, maybe losing by 6, maybe 7 points in this, and it doesn't feel quite as close as the score is. But I think they'll hang in there and make this ugly.
Yeah, I think the Patriots will win. Hopefully a little bit more decisively than that, just based on what I've seen out of that Titans team. But again, I think it's, you know, it's where we were. Like they have to go down and they have to focus on what they need to do, and they need to play their kind of game, and they have to play a full 60 minutes of football, you know, without turning the ball over and doing the things. And look, I mean, at some point, I mean, I don't have to harp on this now, but at some point, the Patriots have to get this run game going because they really just haven't been able to. And Drake May can't be your leading rusher every week. Like it's just at some point, it's not going to work. At some point, it becomes like late December, and you got to be able to run the football and run down the clock and all those kinds of things. So that's something that you know, I think is going to continue to be a focus for this Patriots team. All right, we got to hear from you. So that means we have to stop talking for a little bit. We'll be right back. Mail call time here on Foxborough Rush. That means we get to hear from you and what you were thinking about. We're going to start with Mr. Anthony Hernandez, 2111. He's got Belichick on his mind. I mean, I don't know why. I mean, all that stuff going on down at UNC. Geez. Arrogance and pride exposed at UNC in 5 months. Imagine how much was shoved under the rug with the Patriots. Shaking my head. Mr. Kraft sure did let him get away with a lot, especially the last 4 seasons. I mean, there's definitely a lot of drama. Definitely a lot of drama, Trav.
Yeah, I mean, Anthony's right. He did get away with a lot here. That cupboard was bare. Gerard Mayo was set up for failure, and that's exactly what he did. Now they're turning it around. But I was going to make fun of Belichick here, but I'm actually looking at their schedule, UNC I'm talking about. They're at Cal this week. They're going to lose that game. UVA's good this year. They're in the top 25. They're going to lose that game. At Cuse is always tough. They're going to lose that game. The only shot, they get the nerds of Stanford at UNC. Good luck. You better win that, because after that, you go to Wake, Duke, your rival, and NC State. They may not win another game, Jade. If they don't beat the nerds, it's a wrap for them. And even if they beat them, I mean, that's a horrendous season for Belichick. 4 wins that would be, or 3 wins that would be. He's going to get fired, sure as I'm sitting here.
Those UNC fans are like, this is not what we thought it was going to be. Not so much. No. Anthony's got some other stuff on his mind as well regarding the New England Patriots. Here is what you were saying on that. They got to lock in as underdogs every game from now on. Game-to-game mindset focus will lead to maximized victories. We will worry about playoffs later on. Yeah, no doubt. I mean, you got to take care of what's in front of you. You can't focus on what may be down the road.
Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, all the great coaches across the board in sports, I think, Jade, do this. That me against the world mentality. And the Patriots should do that and hang their hat on it. I like when teams like that do it, not when the Dodgers do it. You understand, Jade? Like, I hate when the Dodgers say, no one believed in us. Yes, we did. We know you're the best team. But a team like the Patriots can use that.
Everyone Everyone coming up cold against the Dodgers. All right, we got
Oh.
one more coming your way. And this one really about the depth that the Patriots need to take a look at here.
Yeah.
And the center and the right side of the offensive line can't get to the second level. They need to run the run game. I just mentioned that. If it becomes a one-dimensional offense, they'll make the playoffs. Lack of depth will catch up. And then some highlighted areas of need from Stephen Black, 3647. Look, I mean, the trade deadline is out there. So at some point, if the Patriots continue on the trajectory that they're on, you expect that they're going to be buyers at the deadline and looking to make some moves.
I guess, Jade. With Stephen Black,
That was a
Travis
big
Black
sigh.
here. It's just like, bro, just relax. Like, the team's winning. Just chill. We can figure out trade deadline when we get there. You're talking about the lack of depth's going to kill them in the postseason. Let's cross that bridge when we come. Just relax. Enjoy this team winning games. The schedule sets up that they're going to win more games. Try to enjoy yourself. Like, can we just stop and smell the roses a little bit? Just a little bit.
Always got to find the room for improvement. I mean, come on now. You got to soak in what you're doing well, find ways to learn from it, and go out there and keep doing better. I mean, that is the definition of finding success in the National Football League. But if you're sitting there at the deadline, like, yeah, you're starting to kick the tires. I don't think there's any question about that. If the Patriots continue to be sitting there, in the top spot in the division, then you're finding ways to kick the tires to see, do you bring a wideout in? Do you better your run game? Do you shore up a little bit on defense? Do you bring in another tight end? We all know how significant that is to McDaniel's offense that he likes to run. So I think that there's a number of things that this Patriots team would be looking to do. And they're not going to do it at the expense of something down the road and giving up too much. But they do have some room that they can do something and make some moves to improve upon the team. But you got to take care of business in the process. That starts against the Titans this weekend, and then of course you come home for two, one against the Browns, one against the Falcons.
Amen.
We got to take a breath. We got to take a breath.
Yeah. Just
we'll
enjoy
do it again.
Center our chi. Center our chi.
Oh boy, here he goes with the chi again. See you next time.